Hello, Pisces. Welcome to the Divine Dojo. My name is Gabriela, and I am here to do your reading for April 30th to May 6th. I want to start by clearing the energy and bringing in spirit. Spirit, give us clear guidance. Send us a clear message for Pisces to help them and guide them through this week. All right, Pisces, we're going to start with the King Crayons archetype cards and just pull a main theme for the reading. And I'll probably read that card at the end. Hopefully you guys are having a great week thus far. Thank you, Spirit. The shadow. Nice. People are scared of the shadows, their own shadows. Let's see. We're going to pull the tarot and see where we go from this. What do I want to talk about? This is a great week to start implementing things that you've been holding off on. Any projects, any stalled or delayed things that have been, in the background that needed to get done. Now is the week to get things done and face the things that we've been trying to avoid. We have the Sun in Taurus, obviously, and then Mercury has been out of shadow. We have Mars out of shadow this week, towards the end of the week, and then Jupiter out of shadow as well. By Saturday, everything will be out of shadow. On Sunday, Pluto does move into Aquarius, retrogrades in Aquarius, and while it doesn't affect us personally, it's more of a collective type of energy that it affects, depending on your placements and your chart. It affects the collective more. It's not a personal planet, so that's nice. What else do we have going on? Today the moon is in Cancer, perfect for our little emotional selves. And I'm speaking of myself as well because I am a Scorpio sun and I have a Pisces moon. So I speak for myself when I say that. Mars and Leo sextile Pluto, and then moon will go in. Thank you, Spirit. Moon will move into Leo on Moon will move into Leo on Tuesday. So, yeah. A lot of sextiles. On Monday, the Mercury will sextile Pluto. Great for communication. And then Tuesday, Venus will sextile Pluto. Oh, excuse me. Mercury will sextile Jupiter on Monday. And then Tuesday, Venus will sextile Pluto. Great for communication, getting emails out, texting, if you have a podcast or, you want to speak to somebody or you want to, whatever, right? It's great for communication, and then especially great for communications in relationships. If you need to have a talk or whatever, Tuesday is a great day to do that, Monday and Tuesday of next week. Few more. What else? I think that's it for the aspects that I want to go over in the astrology. Let's get some messages for Pisces. Thank you, Spirit. I'm going to put this. Oh, Pisces. Okay. So yeah, we start off with the Page of Wands in the reverse. A lot of reversals in your reading. The Three of Coins reverse. The Fool in the reverse. The Four of Cups in the upright, the 10 of Pentacles in the reverse, the 7 of Pentacles in the reverse, the nine of Wands in the upright, the Page of Pentacles in reverse, the 3 of Cups in celebration, I mean, in the upright in celebration, well, it is celebration, and then the 10 of Wands in the upright, and then the King of Pentacles, so I think, oh, well, excuse me, the 7 of Swords, and then the King of Pentacles. So this is interesting. Maybe you've been lacking, you know, Pisces, you've been lacking like direction. You've been confused, maybe having like misalignment in the home or in relationships or within yourself, right? Because we do have the Fool, and the Fool, and maybe you've been holding back on something or hesitating, because with like the Page of Wands, you know, it's inspired and taking inspired action, but reverse, it's like this hesitating and not, it's procrastination basically, and not moving forward, and maybe having some limiting beliefs. And then with the 3 of Pentacles, it's just like, maybe we're not aligned correctly, right? Especially with this Fool reverse, and then having the 4 of Cups, you know, in the upright. Maybe it's time we take some time and contemplate like why we have been feeling this way, right? And really look at, you know, what we can do to change it, especially because you got the shadow over here. Maybe it's, you know, maybe you're not looking at things in your shadow. And maybe it's time you do, and do some contemplation, because, you know, once you do, you or maybe you're missing something, or, you know, there's definitely some misalignment, because you do have that, you know, spirit bringing in that 4th cup, but you're just like, bleh, not interested, you know, you're disconnected, you're just like, whatever, I don't care, I'm just gonna let it be, and just not really, you're not there. It's just like a lot of like not there, you know. And then you have the 10 of Cups reverse, and then the 10 of Pentacles reverse, and the 7 of Pentacles reverse. So there's just a lot of like, what is this feeling? I'm feeling annoyed. I'm feeling annoyed, and just like, you know, like just annoyed. Either maybe you're annoyed with like yourself, or the situation, whatever, work. Excuse me. I am so sorry. Maybe with work, maybe you're just like, you're over it, you know, and you're done with something, and you're just like, you're just not feeling very, I'm just feeling a very mood, you know, from you, like whatever, like I'm not really interested in anything right now. Because after that, you know, you have the 9 of Wands, and this guy, you know, he's the battered and beaten, you know, warrior that's just like, oh man, dude, you know, can I do this? Do I want to do this? Like, do I want to go on? And it's like, yeah, now is not the time to give up, right? Now is not the time to give up at all. But maybe you're, you know, maybe you're lacking, there's lack. There's just like this feeling of like, neither here nor there, right? There's just like, you don't care in a way. And yeah, maybe it's because you need to have this type of energy, this collaboration. You're lacking in some of this energy, right? Maybe community or friendships or support. Maybe you don't have the support that you need right now. And if it's like, if you're struggling mentally, which doesn't, there's not a lot of swords energies here. It's more wands than anything. But if you're struggling, you know, maybe you should seek some help, or, you know, ask for help, or maybe just share what you're going through, because I think that would help. Because, you know, it looks like you are almost at the end of the struggle here, but maybe there has been deceit, or maybe you're deceiving yourself, right? Maybe you're deceiving yourself in what you're in, like, you know, pretending that, like, it's all okay, maybe, when it's not, you know? Huh. Because you do have the King of Pentacles here at the end, you know, so there, you know, you are doing good, you are abundant, you are, Pisces are generous people, for, you know, for the most part. No, you are, you are. But it's just so interesting, this energy that I get. I want to clarify for you, Pisces, what is this like dissatisfaction? Like, I feel like dissatisfied, you know, there's this, like, you're not happy, but you're also not like miserable. I mean, but you're just dissatisfied. That one wanted to come out. So this one came out first. Yeah, it's the Five of Cups. Maybe you need to accept that you are not satisfied. It's coming to an acceptance that you're not satisfied or happy, you know, in whatever situation this is, whether it's relationships, you know, in a job. It looks like more of a career, not so much relationships, or you know, dissatisfied within yourself too. You know, that could be it, because that's looking a lot like it, right? Maybe it's a dissatisfaction, you know, with yourself. And once you accept, you know, whatever it is that the situation that you're in, you can start taking steps towards moving towards whatever that, you know, in that, or out of that stagnant energy, excuse me, that's what I was trying to say, or that dissatisfied energy. Because maybe you've had some disappointments and it's time to move on, right? Maybe it's time to move on from this dissatisfaction and either stay or go in whatever it is you are in, because you can't continue in this way, because this seems, you know, like a heavy burden to bear. And, you know, if there has been deceit, you know, maybe that's why you're disappointed too, because things aren't panning out like the way you thought there were, you know. Maybe somebody is getting away with something and you know it, and, you know, you're dissatisfied with it. I don't know. Or maybe it's you. Yeah, it's like the Eight of Cups is just like leaving it all behind. So, I don't know. What is this about, Spirit? Is this about relationship or career, or personal, like personal dissatisfaction in oneself? What is this about? To me, it seems more personal. But yeah, I mean, we got the Empress upright. It's definitely dissatisfaction in oneself or one situation that they're currently in, right? Because the Empress is all about abundance. You know, she's in this garden holding her little scepter or whatever, and you know, she's developing, she's accomplished, she's the, you know, the ruler of the kingdom, right? And so she's sitting pretty, but all of this energy, sorry, Pisces, I really had to go to the bathroom. I found myself like fidgeting, and I'm like, oh no, I have to go to the bathroom. So anyhow, yeah, so this is Venusian energy, and it's definitely a good time to figure out what is going on energetically, because I feel like a big level of dissatisfaction within yourself this week. So let's, Spirit, how can Pisces, what can Pisces do, or how can we help Pisces get out of this funk, this energetic funkiness that's going on over here? Because you got some good like pentacles, you got, you know, the King of Pentacles, the Ten of Pentacles, you got, you know, the Three of Cups, the Fool. It's like you're indecisive and you're just like, I don't know, I'm getting this like yeah, the Page of Cups reversed. Emotionally immature, insecure, disappointment. You're blocked. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely having to do with within yourself, Pisces. Spirit, how can Pisces get out of this funky ass energy? You know? Yeah, I think this is the key, is like friendships and discipline and leadership, and, you know, so you can get out of this energy, because you underlying, you know, the outcome is this beautiful Empress energy, but for some reason you're feeling like, oomph, you know, like the Four of Cups, like, meh. No. And then the Five of Cups, like, looking at what has been lost, and not looking, you know, that there's two cups right behind you, right? And then like beaten, battered, and torn, and, you know, kind of tired of it, but it's almost over, you know. It'll pass, but maybe there's, how are you deceiving yourself? Because I think this is more of a personal read than anything, than a relationship read, you know. And where is you got to get to the root of why you're dissatisfied, or, you know, in your life, or in this situation, or whatever, you know, apply it to whatever circumstance you're in, if it resonates. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's not your reading. But to whoever it is resonating, you know, why, try and get to the root of the problem of like why it is that you're feeling this way. Why is Pisces feeling this way? Spirit. The shadow. I just got drawn to that. The shadow. What are you hiding from yourself? What are you not seeing? What are you not seeing? What is your shadow? You know? Why is Pisces feeling this way? What is this about? Shit. The devil, you know? What does it say, right? The first, well, you can't see it, but, you know, says the shadow self, attachment, addiction, restriction, sexuality, temptation, seduction, destructive behavior, materialism, codependency. Codependency, I know that can relate to somebody I know. Toxicity. What is your shadow? What are you not wanting to look at, Pisces? Because the devil energy is here, whether it be people, places, or things that, you know, bind you, or, you know, or yourself, you know, that things that maybe you're addicted to, or maybe that you just don't want to face, you know, things that we don't want to face, you know, they chain us to this kind of energy, this like, ugh, I don't know, I just feel like gross energy. Not that I'm saying you're gross, but, you know, just that like unsatisfied, dissatisfied, and just like angst, I guess, in a way. Huh. Yeah, Capricorn energy here. I mean, there you are, the Eight of Cups. It's like moving on. Like, how can you move out of this energy and get into this Empress energy, you know? Cancerian energy is like maybe getting together with people, or maybe talking about whatever it is that is affecting you with other people, you know. How can Pisces get out of this energy and help themselves? I'll pick that one because it popped out, but let me get one more. One more, Spirit. Strength and Page of Swords at the bottom. Oh, when I cut the deck. How can Pisces get out of this energy? How can Pisces get out of this energy this week? Spirit. Too many. Thank you. So one had already popped out, so I'm going to read that one first. Ah, shit. It's the Two of Cups reversed. So maybe it is about a relationship, and maybe it is about love, or maybe, you know, how have you given yourself up in love, you know, or have you given up on love? Are you, especially with that devil energy, like how have you compromised yourself in love? Ah, that's what you don't want to look at. How have you compromised yourself and your dreams in love? Yeah, self-love. Maybe you haven't loved yourself. You know, distrust in love, imbalance in love, tension, broken communication. Yeah, you need to figure this out, because the secondary card that I asked, if like how can Pisces help themselves, is like, you know, I think you're trying to defend and maintain control of something that you know that you should give up and be done with, but you don't want to, because, you know, in a way, the Empress likes to control too. And maybe it's tied to a King of Pentacles, or King or Queen, you know, vice versa, male, female. You know, maybe it's tied to some financial stuff, because I do see, you know, there is, Pentacles here. 3 of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles, 7 of Pentacles, you know, and it's sharing, it's good. You know, where have you betrayed yourself? It seems like more of, to me, where have you deceived yourself, or the other person been deceptive towards you? But this felt more of a personal kind of thing. Maybe there has been deceit from the other person, but this felt more of like, where have you been deceiving yourself, and where have you not had self-love for yourself and continued something that you know shouldn't have gone on for as long as it should have. Interesting. That was the message. I got it. We got it. At least we ended up getting it. Shit. All right. Well, you know what, for you guys, I'm actually going to pull from the relationship, the singles and relationships decks, just to see, like, if there's anything else that wants to come out. Eye candy and vulnerable. Interesting. What's at the bottom of this deck? Just for shits and giggles. Interesting, the Hermit. How can we help Pisces? Oh, interesting. Boundaries popped out. You need to hold good boundaries so you don't feel violated. Like I said, where have you betrayed yourself? Where are you, you know, I don't want to say the devil is like somebody gaslighting you, but where, you know, it could be us, like our addictions. Where are we gaslighting ourselves, right? Because we sometimes will do that. Boundaries. One more message for Pisces, please. One clear message, Spirit, to help Pisces collective. One more message, please. Oh, come on. Spirit. Not too many. One more message. Ooh, didn't want to come out. I'll take those two. Thank you, Spirit. Oh, and it turns out to be 3. Huh. It says, interesting, so too risky. It says, you feel like it's not worth the risk, but opening your heart is a risk worth taking. Maybe you're ready to let go of this, or maybe you need to open your heart again, or, you know, create some boundaries and see if that works out, and, you know, do things differently. And then we got too much work. You're too much work. It says you tell yourself it's too much work, but it's really an excuse to not get involved. Maybe you're putting up your own boundaries too, like saying like, I don't want to work on this because that person is, you know, they don't know how to communicate. They don't know how to talk. They don't know how to open up. They don't, you know, so you're kind of like making an excuse to not put in the work to fix whatever this energy is. That could be it too. Or maybe the other person doesn't want to do too much work or put in any work. Who knows? You know, take it for your situation. And then we got stuck in the past, but it's reversed. So I don't think it's necessarily, I don't get too much of that here, that vibe. But it's definitely like, maybe because you have been hurt by this person or situation or what have you. I mean, it was with the you know, the 2 of Cups, the loved partnership, connection, marriage. So yeah. All right, we're gonna let that go. We're gonna pull an angel number and then read the shadow card. What angel number do you have for Pisces Spirit? 4444. It says blessing in disguise. It says challenges may lie ahead, but you have the strength to overcome them. If you felt lost, this is that kind of like angst, like this, like, the satisfaction, lost. Know that the winds of change are now blowing in your favor. Though some things may fall apart, you're building the foundation for something better. Stay strong and keep moving forward. Beautiful message right there. Maybe it's time to take the risk and, you know, have the conversation and end something that has been weighing heavy on your self, you know, weighing heavy on your mind. Maybe there was deceit going on, you know, maybe there was conflict and you needed to defend yourself because, you know, maybe you didn't set correct boundaries or the other person didn't set correct boundaries. Or maybe it's tied to money. You know, sometimes we get scared because if we move on from somebody or, you know, a situation that is taking care of us, then we get scared of like finances, which I see some of that here. Let's read the shadow. And then we'll be done with your reading. Well, Pisces, just know that you can get through this. You know, seems like it's just an energy this week, and hopefully you'll get through it and, you know, come out with the energy that's here waiting for you with the Empress. So it says the shadow. Although every card in the archetypes deck has a shadow potential, this card asks us to delve into the qualities of the shadow itself. We often think that the shadow can be purified, illuminated, or made right through effort and achievement. However, it is typically the case that our lofty pursuit of ascension and perfection is the very source of the shadow material itself. By rejecting parts of ourselves, and that's what I said, it's like What are you not looking at within yourself? How have you deceived yourself? How have you in love, not like, how have you betrayed yourself, like in love or in this particular situation, if it has to do with career or friendships, whatever, take it and use it to your situation. By rejecting the parts of ourselves and the world, we begin to separate from the whole. Rather than getting to know the qualities and content of our shadow, we busy ourselves with avoiding its presence. This is denial. When this card appears, it is time to take inventory of those things you've been denying. When the mind responds with, no, anything but that, you are touching the shadow. Find support for this deep inner work and move toward the shadow with patience and compassion. Yeah, I think if you're suffering or you're having a hard time, moving through this, I think, getting, or just talking about it and listening, or having a friend listen, or family member, or someone you trust, or, getting counseling, might help you gain a different perspective and see, why the shadow is there. But it's definitely more of a, like, your type of shadow. Not to say that the other person doesn't have a shadow either. We all do, right? But this was definitely more of a personal read in terms of, it's a general read, but it was more geared towards your own self versus, outwardly things or outwardly situations. So that's what I have for you, Pisces. I definitely wish you the best of luck this week. I hope you have a beautiful week. You will get through this, whatever this is, and I wish you nothing but the best, and many blessings and love your way. I'll see you next week.